Players at the ready. Are you ready? Are you ready? On my release.
Tonight, I'll be eating roasted cauliflower tacos with spicy chipotle sauce. Thank you. Oh! I wasn't ready!
You want cheese to go with that wine?
Welcome, air hockey fans. We've got an amazing match up ahead of you tonight. We got Peter Kai, also known as Spec, versus Matt Bentley. Matt Bentley has challenged Peter Kai for his number 2 rank, also for number 33 in the world. So if Matt wins this game, he will actually become number 3rd instead of number 4th because of how many points that Spec has ahead of him. And he'll also obtain number 33 in the world, which is pretty awesome. We are joined today with my brother from another mother. Actually, it's my brother from the same mother, Caleb Buss. Caleb, how are you doing tonight?
Hi, welcome everybody. This is I'm glad to be here, and this looks like it's going to be a good match.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. We got Matt. He has been playing for about 3 years now, and Spec has shot from a nobody to number 2 in Idaho very, very, very quickly. Number 2 in the American Air Hockey League, in fact. And he's been playing some extremely good air hockey. He's had an amazing, he does this amazing cut and right wall under combo, which I'll explain in a second. You'll be seeing it live. This game is right about to take off right now. Okay, so for everybody watching right now, because we can see people that are pouring in to watch this game as it just started to go in live, we have a poll up right now. And so we have a poll up, and it says, vote for who will win. So who do you think is going to win this game? I encourage everybody to take part in that poll right this second. Right now, I will definitely say that Spec is the assumed winner. He's got a lot more points on Matt. He's had a lot more experience. He's been trained by some of the best, and he goes to the arcade constantly. Matt works at the arcade now, but he doesn't have as much of the speed that Spec has. And so Matt is the underdog in this match, which means I'm going to be rooting for him. We got Anthony reffing today.
All right, well, there they go.
Here comes the first face-off. Oh, Matt could have gotten possession, but missed it. Spec sets it up. Oh, Matt with the shove.
What a clean snag.
That was good. Check this out. Spec goes up. Matt read it and just met him on the line and pushes it through, getting the first point.
But you know what? Spec comes right back, nails him down the center line. Absolutely beautiful shot.
It really was really good. This is going to be a nail-biter for sure. Matt sets it up, loses possession, spectates it, goes for the cut. Goes for the cut again, keeps possession. Goes for the right wall under, so that's what I'm talking about.
Really great control.
Yeah,
He just sets it up over and over again, and just until he hits that perfect shot.
Did you see how he went? Do you see how Spec was shooting for the
right
left side of the goal? And then
2-2. What a good match.
Yeah. Oh, there it is again. So you'll notice that Spec is doing a cut shot, and he's doing a few cut shots in a row, going for that left side of Matt's goal, and then he does a shot to the right side of Matt's goal. So he's using just basically 2 shots right now to try to beat Matt. Matt sets it up, goes for the cross.
Maybe it's they're kind of hiding some of their shots, just sticking to the few so they don't know what's next.
Matt in the lead once again. Sets up, goes for the left wall under, beautiful shot. Spec with the right wall under. Now 4-5. Spec sets it up. He can tie it up right here. Nope. Deflected, stolen. Matt going for that still puck. He was keeping it really still before hitting it. Spec with the right wall under. It's now tied up 5 to
Back
5.
and forth gameplay, 5 to 5.
Ooh, with a cross shot.
Ooh, Matt once again slides it in there.
Oh no! It's now game point. Game
6 to
point.
6.
This is Matt's chance.
I'm on the edge of my seat right now.
Oh, Matt loses possession. That was his shot. He lost possession. And Spec goes for the cut. Another cut.
Oh! Matt comes back with the counter.
Oh, that was so good.
6.
Oh, he just shoves
What a
it.
great game to start this whole match off.
Oh, that was epic. Oh, that was so good. Oh, woo, okay, okay.
You can't ask for a better start to this series.
No. I mean, to be honest, with Spec being the underdog, or no, I'm sorry, with Matt being the underdog to win that game with 2 shoves. Like they call it basically when you charge to the front, that's one thing. But when you throw the puck into the person's goal on a charge, they call that being stuffed. And so basically Spec got stuffed twice in that game, which does 2 things. Number 1, obviously it gives Matt a point, in that game 2 points, but it also scares Spec
But
away
also
from getting that
brings
close
you
to the line.
down.
Well,
It
well, right. But I mean,
does.
Spec's gameplay is to play right
Absolutely.
near
I know
the
that
line.
feeling. I've been on the table a couple times myself.
Yeah. So he's used to being right there on the line, and so now it's going to force him to start playing uncomfortably behind the line, further back towards his own goal, which he's been practicing the otherwise. So losing 2 points of that's huge. I'm very, very impressed with this gameplay.
Absolutely.
I'm very excited to see what this next game is going to look like.
Especially when you. Well, and then Spec comes out there. He knows he's ahead. He's usually on top there. He's gonna come in and take it down, and then to have the upset happen right off the rip. It's definitely gonna get into his mental a little bit. So hopefully we can see him, ground down and take back control of the table.
Right. We have right now in the polls, everyone's voted so far, and it's showing 57% Spec wins. I mean, I don't think that Spec has ever lost a challenge match to Matt, and they've had a lot of challenge matches. They're even a team, like a couple, when it comes to, not a couple, what am I saying? They're not a couple. They are both on the same doubles team, though. So they have a doubles
duo?
team. Yeah, doubles team, and they call themselves Potato Power.
Okay.
They have like matching shirts. They had a friend animate them as potatoes, and they're like charging up like for this ultimate move, and they have that made into a shirt. So there's these 2 potatoes that one looks like Matt, one looks like Spec, and so they play very often together. They train together, and so it's always really fun watching them play because they both know each other's weaknesses. They both know each other's strengths. But Matt has never been able to best Spec in a big challenge match, and so there's a lot of people rooting for him right now. There's a lot of
I
people.
kind of wonder if Matt didn't. Matt must have watched your match versus Spec, and he probably watching those records and those videos, and that must be how he was able to read such good stuff to start this whole match off.
Yeah. So you can see at the bottom, Idaho number 2 versus Idaho number 4 is actually the AAHL ratings and rankings on there. There's a lot on the line for this game because we got world rank on the line, we got the AAHL rank on the line, and ultimately a lot of pride. These guys talk a lot of smack for fun on the back end, and so Matt always talks about how he's going to beat Spec, and Spec always says, well, it's how it's never happened, it's not going to change now, so it's kind of fun. All right, here comes the break. There's a break. Spec once again with first possession. And first point.
Good clean shot.
And you can see that shot that he did right there. That's called a cross. Instead of hitting it to the left side, a straight shot, he hit it to the right side of the goal, straight shot. And so that's Spec's like, it's like his 3rd shot. He goes for the cut, goes for the right wall under, and if those aren't working, if he feels like that Matt's puppy guarding that cut side, he's gonna go for the cross. Spec sets it up.
Definitely feels like this is their tempo has gone down a lot this match.
Yeah. 0-2 now.
Oh, in and out.
Oh. It's a quick timeout called. This is going to be an interesting game. It's already 0-2.
Absolutely.
Spec is in the lead now. And the thing is that I've noticed about Spec is that he definitely gets... he doesn't get in his head as much as Matt does. So if Matt is on a winning spree, he just does a really, really good job with it. But then if he starts to lose, he really gets in his head. Whereas Spec is sort of the opposite. If he starts to lose, he does better and better and better. He kind of wills himself to win, if you will. And so him losing that game means now Matt is facing a much harder opponent. Beautiful right, or that's a left wall over. It's such a great shot from a right-handed player. So you can see instead of hitting it to the right side, he hits it to the left side and it goes to the far side of the goal. Matt is and he gets him with the cross immediately afterwards. It's now 2-2.
Now the fire is kicking up. You can really start to feel the heat going on. There he goes! Good shot there.
2-3.
Right back.
Oh, man. Oh, Matt loses possession. He cannot do that right now. This is not the time to do that.
Another good stuff counter, but it didn't go in. Kind of feels like they're just kind of testing each other out against him more.
You know, so Matt's trying with these straight shots. The problem is he's shooting him straight down the center. That was a great block right there from Spec. So like that one right there, that was a complete miss. So Matt, I think right now is just trying to find his footing. Beautiful,
Yeah.
beautiful
There we
over.
go.
Now it's tied up. Yep, 3-3. Beautiful cross. Immediately answered with that cross shot.
That cross almost felt like he slowed it down before he hit it. Kind of slow timed it. It was interesting.
Nice. It's now 3-5. Matt sets it up, goes for that, but straight down the middle again. If he can get that angle, oh, he hit it way too slow, loses possession.
I believe you're absolutely right, Nathan. If he can get it back into a cut rather than a straight shot, I think he'll be making a lot more for goals.
Right. It's now game point to 3. You know, with that last game being 6-6, and now Matt is, oh no, and that's the worst.
Here's something that I noticed. I'm wondering if other players experience this too. But when you switch sides, it just sometimes it takes that momentum out of you. And I definitely felt like Matt changed when the sides were swapped.
Oh man. 7-3 that game.
Well, you know, for that first match, that was beautiful, beautiful match. Great job by Matt.
I agree.
The reason we get to see Spec come back with his gameplay.
I mean,
kind of to be expected to see him really come in hard like that.
I kind of expected that out of Spec. He's done this to us many times where he sort of tests the waters out with the first game and to see what's going to happen, and then after that he just comes in, just full force.
Well, we'll see what happens in the game number 3. 1-1.
Normally the commentators pick a person they want to win, right? And so, Caleb, I'm going to give you first pick. Who do you think is going to win this game? Like, who do you want to root for this game?
That's actually really difficult because I really enjoyed Matt's stuffs. I did. But, man, Kai, you can just kind of see the difference in slow precision. The
Right.
slow precision he has is really beautiful. So I right now, I don't know who I want to win, to be honest.
Gotcha. See, I've been working with these guys for such a long time, and it makes it so hard because I know that Matt has put a ton of effort into his overs, those shots that he got quite a few times on Spec. But Spec has honed his precision so sharp that it requires a perfect block. He just beat me a few weeks ago in a challenge match because I could not block his shots because they were so perfect. And so I do think that Spec has this game, but I mean, as we saw in that very first game, it's still very close.
If Matt can get his straight shots turned into more of a cut, where he's hitting an over and it goes under, or an under that goes over, you know what I mean, to where it's not going just straight to the goal, but he's hitting it from one side of his whether he's hitting it from the right and it's going in left, or he's hitting it from the left and it's going in right.
Exactly.
I think he'll have much better odds of getting those scores, because he had a lot of opportunities. He had a lot of good opportunities to make those shots, and Spec was able to just deflect all of them. I think he had one go in the first game, but the second game he was just blocking all the straights.
I mean, and the fact that Matt was coming out of the gate with 2 different times where he basically just shoved it right back into Spec's goal, and I was really thinking that would scare Spec into not having his release be so close to the line, but it didn't seem like that happened that game. If you look at the top of the screen, you could also see that they each won 1 game now, so it's now 1-1. Ooh! Matt gets first possession off of that.
That's what I like to see. Okay, you know what? I'm going for Matt this round. We've got it decided.
And the rules are if it's touching the line at all, either player can hit it. So what Matt did was completely legal. Matt, I don't know if you can hear that. I don't know if you can hear that. Matt was saying that the shot was garbage, and he said that Spec should be called the garbage man after that shot. So there are some actual shots though that even the person shooting it will say, "Yep, that was garbage." It's sort of like an accidental shot. It does like 3 banks or something. We call those garbage shots in the biz. It's now 1-1. Ooh, Spec is going now for his left wall overs. He was practicing those yesterday at the arcade. Oh, it almost goes in. Matt gets possession. He sets it up. He does an off goal, gets it back. Oh, goes for that cut, almost makes it. Spec sets it up. Spec's just going all left walls. If you'll notice, almost every shot right now is a left wall. Nope, there's one right wall. Totally missed.
Blocked it. He heard you.
Oh, that was okay. That right there, garbage shot. Okay, now watch after the shot. Watch Spec is gonna tap on his goal. Watch, it goes in and Spec taps on his goal. You'll see that with his mallet, and that's basically saying, "Hey, I'm sorry. That wasn't supposed to happen. Like that wasn't intentional, right?" So like if players do a shot like that, or if somebody scores on themselves, the other player will tap on their goal with their mallet, saying like, "Hey, I'm sorry." It's now 3-2. This game is so much closer than that last one. Spec with the right wall, it's deflected, but he gets possession back. Sets it up again.
That's something I noticed with Matt is he has a really hard time of gaining back possession.
Right.
If he could get better at pulling into the he would have so many more opportunities.
Right. Like right there, he stole possession, but then Spec still just immediately steals it back. Right.
Right.
And so Matt's pulling back a little bit.
Control and keep control. For
he got
very
it.
Good
he got
counter
it.
There. Very good.
It's so risky to meet them on the line like that because you leave yourself wide open, but it might pay off. And in that time, he's done 3 so far, and it's paid off each time. Beautiful right wall.
Quick shot.
Nice right wall. Oh, and Spec answers back. It's now 4-3.
Fires back, just like that. This is what we like to see. They gain control. They take some good shots. Nice.
Matt loses possession again.
Passes it back.
Nope. Matt gets it back, sets it up, goes for the right wall, off speed, loses possession, and then immediately gets scored on with a cross. So you'll see this shot here is called a cross. Spec brought it up to the top left corner and then shoots it to the right side of the goal without it hitting a wall. Ooh, Matt with a cut.
Clean shot.
And so this is called a cut. You'll see that the shot comes straight up and goes to the left side of the goal without hitting a wall. It is now 5-5. Spec sets it up. Deflected, but he gets possession back. We like to call this a point of criticality, because it seems like this, in my opinion, almost the 5-5 matters almost more than 6-6 does. I know it's weird, but like this is how it gives you so much of a stress relief when you get that point, because you know that you're only 1 point away and that they're 2 points away. We have 1 point of a margin for error, and all you have to do is make one more. So at 5-5 to me is more stressful than a 6-6.
Right. Absolutely.
Matt loses possession because he had hit it off the table. There's a whistle that's now in play. Spec sets it up. Oh!
Goes for the stuff, doesn't quite connect.
You can see right here, and Matt scores back. It's now 6-6. You can see how Matt jumped up to counter it and completely was out of position. So right now it's 6-6. Oh, Matt loses possession again.
Game point once again.
Oh, Matt's got it. This is his chance. Oh.
Kai with the quick stuff.
Nope, loses possession. This is Spec's chance, and there it is with the cross.
Oh.
He's gotten that cross on him multiple times now.
Interesting.
So now it's 2-1 Spec.
I noticed something very critical about this match already, and that is Spec will take shots much closer to the line, whereas Matt won't. Matt takes a lot of his shots more closer to his goal.
Right.
Now,
well, I mean, and
what
so
do you think about that?
That's beneficial. It's only beneficial when I think it should be done randomly. So Matt does those shots so often that it gives you a lot of time to correct for it. They call it an off speed. When you have more time to correct yourself, you sometimes miss it. So if I hit a really fast shot, and then another really fast shot, and then another really fast shot, and then I randomly hit a slow shot, it's called like a change up, and you might miss it because you overcorrect. So what Matt's shots are doing, they're a bit slow because he's hitting it further back. It gives people more time to adjust to it. The problem is he does it a bit too often. So something that I've talked to him about is getting that shot from a little bit higher up. You know, in that replay, he was a bit higher up there, but he rarely ever does it on the line, whereas Spec does.
Like when he goes up to counter and to stuff, he goes up, and then he sometimes gets those beautiful counter shots like we saw in game 1. But yeah, it's interesting that he doesn't take it up to the line sometimes, and I feel like it'd give him more presence on the field.
Right.
I don't know.
I mean, but the thing is this: if you bring it to the line, then that means that you are hitting it at, you're hitting it as close as it can be to the goal. Instead of hitting it further back and it traveling twice the distance, you're hitting it with half of the distance because you're at the line. And so you could do a bank shot from there or a straight shot. There's certain players you want to hit it further back on, but there's other players like Matt that you want to hit it a lot closer to the line because it gives him way less chance to be able to block it. He has less time to be able to block it. So Spec is doing the correct thing by bringing it to the line, but Matt needs to change that up. Here's the fourth game. In the break, Spec gets first possession. Sets it up. Goes for that cross. Matt blocks it. Goes for the cut. It's missed. Goes for the cross and nails it.
Good shot. I noticed the Spec almost always gets possession. Or at least I want to say he got what, all 3 games so far?
Yeah, he's very good at the face-offs. You know, they didn't used to do that. It used to be a face-off one time for an entire match, and then as whoever won, it would always start on that side of the table. But recently, North Carolina has been experimenting with doing face-offs every single game, and it sort of became a game in itself, right? Getting that first possession is really, really important, because if you're thinking about it being at 6-6, having possession's huge. The same goes for it being 0-0. Starting off with a point is huge.
Absolutely.
Oh no! You
That's
can see once again Spec taps on his goal to say, "Hey, I'm sorry," because Matt scores on himself. There was a bit of an interference though. Spec did interfere with the puck, which made it go into Matt's goal.
Correct. He did get a touch on it.
They call that a forced error rather than an unforced error. So an unforced error is if someone scores on themselves without any interference from the other player. Ooh, beautiful cross. He's gotten so many of those on Matt. Matt calls a timeout.
I think this is a great time to take a timeout, honestly.
Actually,
you know, Matt on that side, it's interesting. I want to say that side just feels a little different. When I see him over there, it's like his personality changed.
You mean on that side of the table?
Absolutely.
You know, the players do actually have favorite sides, and that's actually why the rule is that after each game they have to switch sides, after every game. Matt getting rid of it very quickly. They have 7 seconds to get rid of the puck. They have to it has to cross the line within 7 seconds. Ooh, kind of fumbled in Peter's goal there. But Matt, you can see his immediately Spec gets him with the right wall under. And then Matt returns it back with the right wall over.
Okay.
Now we got a game.
Here we go.
Oh man, it's just back to back. It's now 5-2 though. There Matt goes. Now he's got more of possession time. So if you count the seconds, you can see that like Spec has it. You know, 1, 2, 3, about 3.5 seconds. Whereas Matt, if we, oh there he goes. Now he's taking some time there. Okay, so but he loses possession after 1 shot. Spec went straight down the middle and got punished by getting the possession given to Matt, and then Matt returns it with a cross.
Nice.
That was nice.
That's the cross I was talking about. That's what we wanted to see.
And Spec was
brought
just
it up
barely
closer
out
to
of
the
position
line.
for it.
He
Yeah.
brought it closer to the line. He took the. That's what we want to see Matt do. If Matt can get that down more often, he's gonna start making his way. Absolutely.
There Matt goes. He's taking more time on these shots. He's not just getting rid of them. Usually he was just hit. But now he's taking his time. He's setting it up.
Move up a little now.
Yep.
Needs
Oh,
to
went for a
move up
cross
the
too
right
far
line.
back. Loses
Up the right
possession.
line, he's gonna have-
And Spec immediately capitalizes on that and gets a cross shot. Now it is game point to 3. Spec already has 2 wins. If he wins this one, he'll only be 1 game away from winning his first set. Spec goes for the right wall over. It's deflected.
Nice block.
Yeah, and Matt gets him with the
Right
cross.
back into another cross. That's what we want to see. I'm telling you. If Matt gets
Oh
across this
no! Spec scores on himself. And Matt taps on his goal to say sorry. And then there it is with a
Oh, there it
beautiful
is.
left wall.
that last shot was very fast, very clean.
He pulls
See
it
that
up,
replay on that.
hits the left wall, and it goes to the left wall underside. You can see Spec's smug
Very
face. He's very excited about that. Very excited about
was a
that.
very
That
good
gives him
shot.
now, you can see at the top of the screen, he now has 3 wins at the top there compared to 1 for Matt. And this is going to go to they get 1 minute in between each game.
So now is it the first player to win 4 games?
The first
Then
player to win 4
wins.
games wins a set. So you can see on the top of the screen there, you can see that the gray bubbles next to where it says sets. Nobody's won a set yet. So if Spec wins 1 more game, he's going to have a dot there where it says sets. That's going to show he's won 1 set. The first player to win 2 sets wins this entire challenge match. I think that Matt did a much better job in the end there. What was the ending score? It was 7 to, was it 5? I got too excited to even keep track of the score.
Yeah, 7-5. He came back very quick, and I believe, those 2. He got 2 beautiful crosses in there, and it's being able to get up to the line and get those cross shots in.
Right. Just taking his time, setting up the shots. It's impressive to see. I mean, man, even in that replay right there where Matt was able to shove it twice, but we haven't seen a lot of that. He did do 1 charge and got punished for it. And so I think instead of it being where Matt scared Spec from moving to the front, it's almost the opposite, where now Matt is scared to
Move up to the
to shove it. Yeah, to do any charge of any kind. What do you think about this game so far, Caleb?
I think it's it's going pretty well, actually. I didn't think Matt would be able to really pressure him, and that first game coming out swinging the way he did and taking that first win, that was beautiful. I was really excited to see if Matt could keep that kind of pressure on him. But then the second game came, and I feel like he didn't have that pressure anymore, and I don't know if it's because of the side swap or what, but it's still the game after that was real close, and that last game was also pretty close. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully we'll get some momentum back on Matt's side and have some good
Right.
matches.
For all of you watching, do not forget to like and subscribe. It helps us a ton. Also, the players are able to read the comments live, so do not forget to put some comments in there. If a set is won, the players sit down on the couch and they read your comments out live, and they'll answer your questions live. So now is a perfect time. If Spec wins this game, he'll win the first set, and these guys will sit down. So go ahead and start firing up those questions, throw them in there. Also, don't forget to share. That helps us a ton. This game is happening live. I appreciate Caleb for coming in here helping us commentate. And here comes.
Oh, it's a pleasure.
And here comes this is the 5th game, possible set winning game, and Matt gets first possession this time.
Matt gets controlled. There we go. All right, Matt, let's see some action.
Woo, there it is.
There we go.
And that's
A
the
cut.
cross. It is a cross because it went to the far side of the goal. You can see him set up there. It went to the right-hand side of the goal. And that's worked. It's worked so far quite a few times now against Spec. So Matt has found an opening. Oh no!
Oh no!
No one wants to see that. Matt does a double tap on his goal. You can see that it fumbled into his goal only because of the block there. That's what I love about these guys, though. They call themselves out when they do a foul if they like accidentally touch the puck. They often do the double tap like right there on this goal. Spec is saying, "Hey,
So now
that shouldn't
it's
happen."
back even, you know. They both got that knockout on each other. So
Yep.
here we go. Now it's 2-2.
I mean, it sounds awful, but like when you score on yourself, nothing feels worse. Oh, that's another one. And the players feel bad about it, but when you see the other players scoring themselves, it is sort of like, yay, at least it's fair now, right? We're back to even.
I'm telling you, the side
Nice.
swaps is interesting. Like they just come out swinging different.
I mean, a lot of people really do prefer different sides. I don't, because I don't want to let that get in my head. I used to be that way a bit, but then I realized it started hurting my game. It really hurt my game.
True.
Because I would go to the side and I'm like, oh, well, I'm on the losing side now, so I guess I'm just going to lose this game. And it's really started to harm my game. Now I just say, I'm just playing on the table, and it's even either way. We're both going to play on each side of it. Oh, man, this game, they've scored on themselves so many times this round.
Matt's looking like he may be able to take this game.
Spec
for
goes,
another upset.
Spec goes for 2 crosses. Oh, let's go of his mallet, which means possession will go to Matt.
You know, he gets so upset he throws the mallet at Matt, but Matt, you know, he just gives it right back. He doesn't mind. He understands. You know, if some people, you know, it's an upset.
If only they did it
All
on
right.
purpose. It has happened before, but it's pretty rare. Spec gets possession back. Beautiful shot. It's now 5-5.
Ooh.
Matt was in such a good point, a good spot to win this. Is he gonna let Spec catch back up? Goes for the cross. You see how he's getting rid of it after only a second or so? He needs to set up. Oh, Spec scores on himself for like the 4th time.
That's 3 or 4. 4.
I believe it's 4 at this point. Beautiful cross. It's now game point. Game point. Actually, I'm sorry. It's game point, set point. If Spec gets this next goal, then it's the set. It's deflected. He gets it back. Does Spec
good
take the
one.
set? Oh, Matt charges.
Nice, tough. Come on, Matt. You got this, Matt. Come back.
Spec sets
Unless
it
it's
up.
full open that
Goes for the
round.
cross and takes the first set. Matt, you can see his
There
ticked.
it is. First set.
Oh, man. Caleb, in the chat, they're saying it's... Oh, man, it's a beautiful cross. They're saying it's a little bit hard to hear you. Do you have any way to amplify your microphone?
Well, I can get it up to my face a little bit closer there, but I want to say part of it I believe is my internet. I'm on Starlink, and so it cuts in and out sometimes.
Maybe when they'll sponsor us. I hope they do. All right, in a second here, we're going to be having the players go over to the couch. You're going to ask them questions, so fire off those questions. We now have, as you can see, in that match, you can see at the top of the screen, in 1 second, you can see that Spec has won the set here. No. And so fire off those questions. Don't forget to hit the like button, and don't forget to subscribe. This is actually my favorite part, Caleb, is when all of the viewers start throwing in questions, and the players get to sit down and they talk about what they're thinking about doing the next game, what was working for them, what wasn't working for them. and it's always really exciting. So I'm gonna go out there really quick and just make sure that they're set up.
Sure.
Alrighty. As soon as Matt gets over here. Oh man, that was an exciting match.
You know, honestly, it was overall some good games. I mean, 6-7 right from the rip. 7-3 was a little bit lackluster, but then, you know, we came right back with a 7-6, a 7-5, and even that last round, another 6-7.
Right. Oh
Who
man.
are you calling lackluster?
Yeah. So Matt, you were the first game. You shoved it on him twice, and you just had his number, and then the immediate game after that, it fell apart a bit. You know, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on that? What do you think happened?
I think Spec just wasn't ready for game one. Or he just wanted to see what I would do. What
So
game I was
you think
gonna
you played
bring.
at the same intensity and everything the second game?
Huh?
So we were noticing that whenever you were on the far side of the table, your intensity seemed to decrease a bit.
You think so?
I mean, that's what.
It's interesting. So, you know, watching when you guys are playing against each other, I noticed that you tend to take more hits closer to your goal rather than bring them up to the line to get to kind of shorten the distance. When you guys swap sides. But game one, you came out, not only were you taking the shots, but then you were also getting up in his face, and with those two stuffs, I mean, they were beautiful. I'm sure they're going to go into the highlight reel.
Yeah.
They really were awesome. So, I guess the next question is, what are you gonna do for this next set?
For the next set, I'm going to use what was working and then incorporate the second part of my plan. I didn't hope I was going to have to resort to it so soon, but I guess I'm going to have to.
You know, that's how it goes sometimes. Sometimes you got to bring out your cards, put them on the table, and go, hey, I got the royal flush, now you can't do nothing.
Because that's it. And then set 3 is just going to be balls to the wall.
Gross. And but you know, I think that you know, Spec, he's playing his game, which is the cut right wall under combo, and then he's throwing in the cross. And I mean, you started to find that the cross was open on him. He found it was open on you. It was a time where it was just cross like 4 times in a row. The only thing I'll notice about your game, Matt, is that the times that you're getting rid of it within a second, you lose possession, he scores on you. The times that you take about 3 seconds is the time that you're scoring on him. And so I'll just say, take your time, don't rush it. You don't want to be looking back at it and be like, oh man, why was I rushing? I just gave those shots away. You're looking for that shot of opportunity on him, and he's ready for it, right? You go for that chip shot, and he's like, nope, but then he steals it, and you basically just gave him a point. Spec, that last game, or no, game before last, you scored on yourself so many times.
No.
I can't believe you came back and won that one. Like, I cannot, because you scored on yourself 4 times, right?
Yeah, I think it's like 5
it was
times.
At least 3. It might have been 4.
I do not understand how you ended up winning that game. I really don't.
I just hate the yellow puck, you know?
You hate the yellow puck.
Even though he challenged me, I should have had priority on who to say what the puck was supposed to be.
Then why didn't you say?
He said no.
Oh, he fought against you? Well, you just beat him. Okay, there's something to that. So there's a lot of rules about that.
So, Spec, what are you going to do to change up from, you know, when he takes those cross shots? Because it seems like you're actually pretty good at defending the straight shots, but as soon as he gets in those cross shots, it seems like you're having a hard time blocking those.
It's just me flinching. I just gotta get rid of the nerves and stop flinching.
Yeah, because you'll notice if you rewatch it, he moves a tiny bit. He goes to block the cut, and he moves that 1 inch over and opens up for the cross. That was the other thing, Matt. When you were playing closer to the line, you were doing a lot better. When you play further back, it's like an off speed, right? So you gotta change it up and do a few from the top, or maybe a little bit from a drift. That should help a ton. Spec, when you got mad and threw your mallet at Matt, we all thought that was pretty funny.
I was trying to do some damage, but I missed it.
All right, so we got some chat rolling up here. You gentlemen want to take a look down and see what questions they have for you. And if you haven't yet, this is a perfect time to throw a question in chat. They're going to pick and choose what they answer here.
Someone was saying before the game started, I was like moving my hand around at the face-off. If it was a distraction or not.
Well, they pointed out that you won every face-off but like one. Yeah, there was a lot of face-offs that you got so far.
But the hand moving behind the puck was kind of a distraction. It kind of distracted him because he was like looking at my hand. Like,
the other hand?
At the very start of the game, I was like moving my hand around.
Oh man.
using the what is that called? When a magician feint
sleight of hand.
That's it.
I've always wanted to do that where like I just keep an extra puck like in my left hand, so as soon as I score, I just throw a puck down and score. But there's a rule that there's only one puck that's allowed to be used. But I'm like, that'd be so sweet because they always expect there to be like a 2-second delay after a goal before the puck's back on the table. So, all right, what other questions are there?
If Matt considered changing his mallet to keep more possession.
Oh, no, it's not about the mallet as much. A mallet has a lot to do with it. But the thing is that there was a lot of shots. Spec is hitting it so hard that it's very hard to gain possession after a shot that hard. A lot of players will say that you got to hit it so hard that either you're scoring a goal or at least getting it back. And if you hit it super hard and they block it, it's really hard for them to stop it because there's so much momentum, so it usually bounces back. So you'd have to pull back extra far to get that puck to stop once it hits the mallet, right? Sort of like Newton's cradle, right? So as soon as he hits the puck, as soon as it touches Matt's mallet, he has to pull back. But he's pulling back only a tiny bit, and so it has too much inertia and it moves back to the other side of the table.
So I'd like to see, going forward, I'd like to see a couple more feints from both sides.
Where they both just feint off the table
I'm
after
gonna
someone
show you
scores a
a
goal? Or do you mean fake out?
Yeah, fake out. Like I seen Spec, I think, use one fake out maybe that whole match, and I didn't see Matt use any. But maybe that's just me. But I'd like to see some more fakes going in.
Or feints. They could either way. If you guys want to just feint, I think that'd be distracting. If you're
Right
about to
on
hit
the
it, you just
table.
fall and then you pop back up and make your shot. That'd be great. Okay, what smack talk do you guys have for this next set? Who do you think's gonna win?
I mean,
Historically,
what's more
I've
important
won
is who's
every
going to win in
challenge
set
match.
3, really.
Matt, who do you think's gonna win in set 3?
I think Matt's gonna come back and destroy Spec. I think it's over for Spec.
All right. The poll is still up. I see we have a 54% poll rating for Spec right now. It's like we're voting. This is kind of fun. It's like you guys are running for some sort of office. So if you haven't yet, go ahead and
Making
yep,
air hockey great again.
add to the live poll. We're going to have these gentlemen jump back up to the table, and I'm going to take a second actually to talk about our sponsors because we've got 3 amazing sponsors right now that I want to talk about right quick while these guys get ready for the next game. We got Ruth Kamichek. She's an amazing, amazing realtor. We love it because she goes by Ruthless Real Estate, so that's why we have all of our Ruthless replays that we have. Give her a call, 208-965-3570. She's absolutely amazing. Caleb, you've known her your entire lifespan, and you can attest to how amazing that she really, really is.
Yeah, no, she's absolutely excellent, and she'll work with you, and she'll look at the house with you and be like, you don't want this house for this reason, or you want this house for this reason. And she ain't trying to sell you something. She's trying to find a home for you to live in.
Agreed.
That's you're gonna like to live out your life. And just really, yeah, she's great.
We're also sponsored by Right Now Heating and Air Conditioning. Give them a call, also 208-585-5868. Please let them know that we sent you. That would help us out a ton. Right now, the guys in this house are legit cold. Mind you, it is in the 90s outside, I believe, high 80s, and right now in the house, it is a balmy 65 degrees. We actually keep it really cold so that the players don't sweat all over the table. And lastly, Legacy Garage Doors. These guys are the best. These are our newest sponsors. absolutely amazing. When they came out to do work on my house, they actually sent the owner himself out to do the work on the house. He did not try to upsell me. He worked me through every single piece of the process, literally the pieces of the process. Give them a call, 208-370-2747. When I say the pieces, I mean he was showing me the different bearings that they use and giving me different options. It wasn't just, hey, it's going to cost us one price. He goes, no, that you different levels that you can choose from. What type of bearing do you want? What type of life span do you want out of your garage door? And I didn't think much about it. Our spring had just broken. I called, I don't know how many people I called, 4 or 5 different businesses, and only one of those 5 businesses answered the phone. And it was them. They answered instantly. The other ones I had to go through a whole call tree. They answered the phone immediately, and I love the way they answered their phone. It was amazing. They were just like, hello, thanks for calling Legacy Garage Doors. Well, how can I make you smile today? And I was like, okay. And I was like, you could make me smile today if you can get somebody out today. And it was like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Chances of somebody coming out are like 0. And they're like, we could actually have someone come out today to take a look at it. He's actually the owner. And I'm like, no way. So the owner came out. And it wasn't like a 2-minute thing. He didn't run in and say, well, this is what you need. It's going to be a lot of money. No, he took his time. He talked me through every piece of the process. I really, really enjoyed hanging out and actually building a relationship with him. So guys, give Legacy Garage Doors a call. They are amazing. If you need anything for your garage, and this is the last piece I want to say about it. I'm a speed racer, and I love to race into my garage, but I have to wait for my garage door to open. And so I'm just waiting for it. I wonder if I can move a little bit further. Is it going to hit my windshield? Now my garage door beats me every time. I did not realize how bad the spring was on my garage. I'm actually sad to admit this. It's so bad. My garage door was just barely move up. Now it's super quiet, and it opens so fast that I can't beat it. I can't run into my garage door. Now I can hit the button down the road, and by the time I get to my house, the garage is fully open because it's that fast. So love those guys immensely. All right, we're setting up for the next game right now. Don't forget to give us a like, give us a comment in the chat. Let us know that you're here. Post some questions for us to read out loud because it's a blast. It's the only sport that you could talk directly to the players live. Let's take advantage of that. All right, we'll see you guys on the table.
All right, we'll be going into set 2. All right.
I thought I snuck out there, and I forgot that camera is always on. It's always watching Mike Wazowski.
Always watching. Is this typical defense? Does everyone just copy this?
What was that?
What's your take on that? The comment?
I'm reading it right now. Is this typical defense? Does everyone just copy this? They're using 2 different defenses. It looks very similar, but they're actually using 2 different defenses. And to be honest, Spec's defense is a little bit more tight right now. And so you don't want to block all the way back at your goal. You want to block about a foot up, and you don't want to flinch. So that's what's losing Spec those few crosses. But overall, Matt, he's blocking a little bit too far back. He plays a lot further back to his goal, so he's leaving himself open to those straight shots. Basically, a player that's blocking right next to their goal is leaving themselves wide open for a straight shot. Spec takes first possession.
He's using his left hand to distract again. It was a beautiful fake. Oh, there we go. There's the fake. Now we're starting to see some action.
I think Matt felt like he was doing fakes. Nice. Matt gets the first point.
was a good counter move by Matt.
Again, beautiful right wall. And it's now
Ooh.
2-0.
He read him going up to the right, and so he just shot it right off that wall. It's beautiful.
So ground up films, I see that you have that question about the defense. You can see where Spec is at right now. You see how he's not all the way back? And he only moved just right then. He only moved an inch over. Right there again, an inch over. Very disciplined defense. Now watch Matt's defense. Do you see how, actually that time he just jumped forward. It works. It's a good thing that he scored it. Ooh, flubbed in. It's now 3-0. This is the biggest gain that Matt's had over Spec. Matt, a beautiful right wall over.
Yeah, that over, actually, I didn't think that was going to be going in. It looked like Spec was there, but it was interesting.
That's Spec's first point, and it was only because it bounced off of Matt's mallet. Matt sets it up. He's taking his time this time. Goes for that fake out. Oh, loses possession, though. Okay, now, so watch Matt's defense. Nope. It gets it back and immediately scores. It's 5-1.
He's taking a lot of advantage on that right wall now. And that's actually really great to see, because originally he was hitting only on the left wall and going for the straights and the cuts. But now he's been hitting off the right wall quite a bit. And
Yeah.
I think he noticed that. I think that's the thing he was talking about when he said he's going to change it up this round.
And, you know, Matt's defense is actually doing better than I was giving him credit for. Like, do you see that he did pull back a lot further, but it was required. There, he only moved a few inches, so his defense actually is doing quite good. So as far as you're asking, like, is that defense typical? It is typical in pro-rigged games. Oh, that was
good
excellent.
stuff!
Oh, but then he walked away
Right
thinking...
back at him!
He walked away thinking that he had won. What a goober. Matt walked away thinking that he
thought
had
it
won.
was 7.
Yeah,
but
he thought it was
6.
7. He walks away, and Spec took advantage of it. Don't walk away until the game's over. Spec took advantage of it. I love it. That was amazing. But, I mean, if that's the only way Spec can get a point this game, I mean, he might as well take it.
We'll see. I mean,
Oh,
you know,
see right there,
sometimes
Matt was fully out of position. He charged. He was 2 feet away from where he needed to be. Usually, you want to be within, like, you know, you want to obviously block it. If not, you want to be within an inch. There it is.
he sets it down the center and he gets the goal. And you know, I'm glad he did there, because it started feeling like he was starting to flub up a little bit.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, they call that closing out. It's really
What?
difficult to close out a game. And when you get that close to winning, sometimes you just get nonchalant. Sometimes you stop caring. So, awesome win. 7-3.
I love to see how he came out there on that round. I mean, he was really catching those right walls. And, you know, I wasn't seeing much of the wall switches his last couple games. So it's really great to see that. And then Spec, I noticed he did do at least one good fake in there. But Matt read it and was able to block that fake. So we'll see what happens going forward.
You can see where Spec is right now. There's a TV right there, and that right there is where the players get to read all the comments. So we're not lying. This is a live game. Those players get to read what you're saying live. So take a second and throw in the chat any questions that you have for them, any words of encouragement, any lighthearted insults are always appreciated. Just kidding. You know, Caleb, one of our players, we nicknamed him Flip. It's Josiah. He only plays with flip-flops. And so whenever he plays, it's like there's always this big point that where everyone's asking about his shoes, like, why is he playing in flip-flops? And it's like, well, this is Idaho. It'll be literally -10 outside, and he'll still be wearing flip-flops. He does not care. He will not wear shoes. And he will only wear flip-flops. So we nicknamed him Flip.
That's cool. That you know, some people, you know, there's that one guy who you know, he doesn't wear shoes at all, and he you know, uses bare feet, and then when it's too cold or too hot, he'll put socks on. Forget his name, but anyway, it's you know, that's kind of a cool trait.
Right.
Maybe you know, if something goes wrong, he can take his flip flop off and throw it at him. You know.
There's a lot of people's mothers that used to discipline them that way. You just fired off
Exactly.
so much PTSD in our viewers. All right, it's
All right.
1-0 now. I mean, that's how Matt started the last set off too. So let's see if he keeps up the momentum this time.
Well, and he won it on the offside, so I think he's got good chances here.
Matt with the first possession. Matt getting rid of it. See that he's only holding it for 1 second? You know, all 3 of those shots were within 1 second of possession. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000. Okay, that was better. Oh.
Ooh. Almost
Again,
on
just
goal, but
rushes
he was able
it.
to save it.
Oh, beautiful right wall under. Matt froze up. So they call that, I mean, that's literally freezing. You're so worried about that cut that you move way too slow to block a bank shot because you're so, you're trying to keep that very rigid, disciplined defense.
You're
right.
anticipating the one shot. And then
They call that making a credible threat. If you do a shot once and you get a point, that's not that big of a deal. But if you do that same shot again and again and again and it works, then you have it such a threatening shot that they have to start sacrificing other things just to block it, right? They're like, okay, I don't care if he gets a bank, I'm just going to have to block this straight. That's how Spec beat me a few weeks ago. Oh,
nice!
I like it. I
How
like
did
it.
he slip that
And he
in?
sliced
That
it.
is
He sliced it.
What a
Oh.
beautiful slice.
That was good.
You know, if nothing else, Matt's shots, some of them are just beautiful.
That was-
I mean, you know, his highlight reel, if he can take this W, it's going to be a beautiful one.
It really will. Against Spec, I won the first set and then lost the next 2. And so Spec has, you know, he's mentioned before that he tries to keep his, you know, reserves his energy, right? You'll notice a lot of times he doesn't jump after it. He lets it get back to Matt quite often. Matt's kind of the opposite. Matt pours his energy into his first few games. Sometimes he runs out of energy near the end. So it'll be interesting to see how the end of this set goes. Matt,
What an interesting change-up straight shot there.
Yep. Banks it left.
That was nice.
Pulls it up, and then goes for that cut. He went for the cut again, hits Matt's hand, so possession goes to Spec. There's the whistle, it's back in play. Beautiful cross. Again, that's the shot that really is the bane of Matt's existence. He hit it so hard it took a chip out of the puck, so now Matt's sanding it. You see how it just stopped on the table? A lot of people don't realize it, but I mean, if at pro level they hit it so hard that it actually takes chunks out of it, or it will like put a ding into it, and then it won't be able to float.
All right, here we go. 3-3. Good match. Oof, got that left wall flub again.
Oh, he keeps possession. Spec sets it up, goes for that right wall under. I actually thought that was going to be a cross.
He tricked even the announcer.
He did.
You know,
He
sometimes
did.
that's how good.
I really thought that was going to be a cross
shooters
because
are.
he set it up just like his other crosses, and that's what makes a good shot, is where you're setting it up the exact same way and firing in different areas, because then the other person has no idea where you're shooting it to. There's a lot of players that will have a tell, where they basically will only do a certain shot on one side of the table, and then when they take the puck to the other side, and they give away what shot, they call it telegraphing. You're basically explaining the shot before you take it, and the other person knows where to block. In this case, Spec is doing his shots so similarly, it's really hard to tell which one he's going to do.
Absolutely, and you know, I've even done that a couple times playing against you in my match, where I'll purposely hit a shot 3 or 4 times in a row, telegraph it, and then do something different with the same setup.
Exactly. That's being basically deceitful, and that's what you need to do in this game. It's just like chess. You have to deceive your opponent. You have to make them think you're doing one thing while you do the other.
You know, some people might look at this and go, oh, it's just 2 guys hitting the puck across the table. But, you know, there really is a lot going on that's not really seen until you're on the table. And between the different shots, the different plays, the different mind games that you have going on.
I encourage you to, you know, while everyone's watching this, just try to guess the shot that the players are going to do. And if, you know, for every time that you're wrong with your guess, that basically would be a point that they would have scored. It's now game point to 4. Matt is about to win his 2nd game in a row, which would put him in a fantastic position. Spec misses twice in a row. Oh, Matt rushed. Straight down the middle. It's blocked. Gets him with a cross.
It was a clean cross, too.
This
This
is the moment. Good. Matt could take this game right here. And he does with a right wall
there it is.
over. Beautiful shot.
You know, that's really coming back hard in this game. You know, He may have lost the first set, but he's 2 games deep now, and he may have a chance here of taking the second set.
You can see at the top there, he's won 2 games to 0. It's putting him in a really good spot. Spec is gonna have to win the next, 4 to show any sort of a comeback. I'm loving the poll right now. If you haven't taken a chance to take the poll, do it. We got 56% still for Spec and 44% for Matt are the votes. We got people that are right now throwing their comments in the chat to help the players out. We see someone saying take your time, keep them guessing. They're talking to Matt. I see a lot of Matt's family in here too, which is awesome.
Well, and that's the interesting thing. I actually versed Matt at least once before, and it can be a bit difficult to read what shot's coming because a lot of times he doesn't, like I was saying, he doesn't really move up to the line very much. So because of that, it's kind of harder to read what shot's coming because he takes a lot of the shots from kind of the same position.
Agreed. I mean, you really do not want to be predictable. You really don't want them to be able to read your shot. If they are able to read your shot, I mean, I was about to play a game against a pro once at Worlds, and I asked a higher ranked pro for some advice, and they said, "Oh, that guy, all you have to do to defeat that guy, it's really, really simple. All you have to do, if he's in the very middle of the table, he's gonna do such and such shot, and if he's 1 inch from that spot, he's gonna do this other shot. So just keep a close eye." And if he's 1 inch away from normal, he's gonna do a different shot. And he explained it, and I'm like, there's no way that's true. And then as I started playing him, it was like I was cheating. I just looked where his mallet was, looked where the puck was, and sure enough, if it was 1 inch to the left, it was one shot and I could block it. And if it was 1 inch to the right, I knew the other shot was coming. And a lot of players are like that. They try not to be, but a lot of players are like that, where they will give away their shots before they even hit it, just in how they set it up. There's some players that are so bad about masking their shots that will know what shot they're gonna do way before they hit it.
There Matt is. He's saying, look at me, I'm coming for you.
I think he's doing the Great Bambino. He's saying he's gonna hit the puck off the table. And then, there he goes.
There's the feint that we were talking about.
You said he had it. There you go. Caleb, you wanted to see more fainting.
Spec is trying to say that Spec is saying that he's the king and he's tipped the king over like in chess, but I don't know if that's the best thing to say here.
Yep. We got Papa Bus in the chat saying votes for Matt at the breaking, and now Matt's back. We got Fluffy Dragon Slayer saying goodnight, Matt. We got them saying he fainted.
Get to the helicopter.
Okay, first possession goes to Spec. It's kind of funny, Caleb. One time way back, they said, hey, Matt, because Matt was beating Jessica really bad. And they said, hey, after each of your goals, you should do a little river dance after each goal that you do. And so he started doing that at the very end. He was beating her to the point where, I mean, she was laughing so hard. And so after every point, he would, like, do a little quick spin and a little jig. Matt will use the head game to win his games. He'll, like, say a joke out loud. He'll try to get you to laugh. He'll try to get you, playing a lot like lighthearted. The thing is, Spec doesn't listen to any of it. Spec blocks all of that out. So a big chunk of Matt's game is gone because Matt loves to play the head game in air hockey. He would like to, he'll tell a random joke or say something funny to get you to lighten up, and your shots aren't as crisp when you're laughing, obviously.
Right. I actually lost to
Look at that, a blazing fast right wall. That was blazing fast. Spec is now, see, it happens when Matt starts beating up on Spec. He wills himself to win. He starts playing much harder, much tighter, much faster. He's hitting that puck, again, with the right wall under. He's hitting that puck so hard. Now he's up 4-0. There we go. Now we're seeing a comeback from Matt. So Spec is now making that right wall under a credible threat. He's going to be hitting that right wall under so many times that now Matt has to do something to block it. That was a garbage shot. Ooh. Matt got rid of it too soon, loses possession, and now it is game point to 1. Oh, and there it is. That was over so fast. I can hear the smack talk already starting. He gets him with a right wall over. Matt was way out of position. Maybe he should not have fainted before the game started. Wow, 7-1. So at the top of the screen, you can see now it's 2-1. Spec is going to have to win the next 3 to win the set. Matt only needs 2 games to win the set. If Spec wins the next 3 games, though, this entire challenge match is over. Caleb, who do you think is going to win this next set, or this next game? We may have lost Caleb. He is coming in remotely today. Alright, we got people in the chat. It's looking like it's changed a little bit now. Spec is now only 53% in the polls. He's barely winning in the polls right now. If you are just now tuning in, you are watching this live, go ahead and take a chance to answer our poll here. Thanks for chatting in. And remember, the players are able to read your chats live. So anything you say they can read right away. You can give us some encouragement or ask some questions. We're popping into game 4 right now.
I believe I'm back.
Yep, there you are.
Yeah, my internet completely got wiped out, so I missed that whole last match.
No worries. It was a blowout match. I think even Matt missed that match because it was 7-1 Spec.
Oh no!
Yeah.
You know, when your greatest fan is unable to watch the match, you know. Because I was really rooting for Matt there. All right, well, 2-1. He could still come back and win this set. You know, he's still got the lead.
It's hard because
Now, on that blowout match, what side was he on?
Matt was on the left-hand side.
I'm telling you, that left-hand side, it can really get to some people.
You know, it's funny because I'm rooting for Matt generally because he's an underdog. However, Spec just stole my world rank about 2 weeks ago. And since then, he hasn't been able to beat me in a game, and I'm definitely going to take it back. But I want to take it back from him before Matt gets it. Because if Matt gets it, now I'm going to have to challenge both of them. It's going to be a mess. So I want...
True.
It's sad to say this, but I kind of don't want Matt to steal that rank. I want to take it back from Spec.
Because if Matt wins, then that's kind of the same thing as like saying Matt.
Well, he also he'll also
Spec
bump
beat
me
you.
up instead of... So I was at 33. Now I'm at 34. But if Matt wins this, I'll be at 35. Yeah, oh no. I think that was Matt's secret weapon.
All right, Matt, let's get it
What
under
is Spec?
control.
Spec is squeaking his arm on the table. Matt, so Spec goes for that cut.
Okay.
He goes for the cut again. He's doing an off goal on purpose,
Fake-
it looks like.
fake
Then he goes for the right wall, scores on himself. Nice, gets him with the cross.
Right back.
Ooh, Spec goes for the serve. Oh, it fumbles in.
It's one of the few fumbles that Matt's finally, we've seen Spec get a lot of fumbles.
It's weird because Spec doesn't normally score on himself very often. He's very disciplined in, he's almost a robot. You can see he does the same motions. He's very robotic in his gameplay, but it works. Matt really needs to win the next 2 games to tie up the sets. Spec with a beautiful cross again, and it works. Matt needs to find an answer to that, and the answer, honestly, is just to keep his defense up, just to keep his mallet a little bit forward. See, like right there, he was open for the cut again. Luckily, Spec missed it. It's now 3-4.
Matt comes back with 2 shots. I mean, this game could still go any direction. It's really
Oh
it's been entertaining.
no! Okay, so like that one there, I was mad at Matt because he only had it for a second. You can see he only has it for 1 second, but it ended up working out for him because he hit the shot and Spec didn't pull back hard enough to stop the puck. Ooh,
Yeah,
it
I
is now
believe
game
you're right.
point 4. Matt could take the 3rd game in the set. Matt gets possession back. This is his chance right here, and he gets it.
There it is.
It is now
Back
3
to
games
back.
to 1.
This is what we like to see. You know, this is why we come to watch these shows. You know, these back-to-back plays where the underdog is showing what he's got, and that he's been practicing, he's been watching the videos, and he's coming in to take that spot.
Man, I mean, if Matt wins one more game, it's going to take it into the 3rd set. I've seen the chat is blowing up right now. It's really fun because during the games, the chat's really quiet because everyone's watching, right? And then right after the games is when the chat starts to blow up and everyone starts to throw, comments in there. You know, everyone's excited for Matt that's rooting for him, and everyone that's rooting for Spec is like, you know, you can do this. You know, you got this. Don't worry about it. Shake it off. And it's always kind of fun to see that, where it's like, you know, most commentary on YouTube live videos is just sort of constant. But with us, it's like it waves. It's like nothing, 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 everything, nothing, 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 everything.
Yes, yeah.
This is,
you know, it's it's fun to see everyone come out here and you know, rooting for who they want to win, and you know, just seeing the outcome of this match is just it's been good.
right.
I'd like to see you know, Spec come in with a little bit more shots going forward. I mean, I missed the last round though, and I hear it was a blowout. So
7-1. Spec crushed him. And so the question is Spec going to let him take this game and win this set, which will force another set? Basically what that will do is it'll erase Spec's game, right? Spec has 1 win right now. But if Matt wins this set, then it forces a brand new set, and it's
Right.
now starts 0-0. So Spec will lose his win that he has. So if he wants to end this match right now, he needs to win the next 3 games in a row. And if Matt wants to win this match, he's only got to win 1 game,
Well,
but then he has to win a whole other set.
This is gonna be a really this is gonna be a tough one to win for Matt because he's on that side that really he plays like a whole different game on this side. So we'll see if he can keep that lead.
Ooh.
Ugh. That side's just playing tricks on him right off the rip.
It's so funny though. What do you think the side has to do with it? Do you think it's in his head, or do you think it actually has to do with the side of the table?
You know, I think it has to do with where where the table is positioned and the walls that are around you. You feel a little more closed in on that side.
I mean, there's actually a lot more space. It doesn't look like it on camera, but there's actually quite a bit of space around the table. But you know, what's
sure.
But like, okay, so a second ago, Matt lost possession completely on his own. Nothing to do with the walls, nothing to do with anything else. He just completely flubbed it. I think it must be a head thing. At
is a head thing.
At the
I mean,
arcade, he definitely chooses his side of the table. He like really has a favorite side of the table at the arcade. Oh,
it's a
left wall over.
perspective thing, you know, and that perspective can kind of get into your head a little bit, and it can mess you up, you know. And I know because when I go down and I played on that table a couple times, I don't know, there's a side that just feels right.
I mean, at the arcade it makes a little bit of sense. Now, mind you, there's like air conditioning aims more on one side. I mean, to be honest, where Matt is at is where the air conditioning is focused in that room. Oh no, he blocked it too. It's now 0-4. It's so crazy. You go from getting 7-1s to winning, and then go back to getting this much of a deficit in his points. Matt getting rid of it within a second again. Okay, setting it up. And then he gets the point. You see that? It's like when he he takes his time on those shots,
At least
he's
it's not
getting
7-0.
It's true. You actually get a lot of extra rating points if you can 7-0 people. So like every player wants that, and there's nothing.
I will say.
Go ahead.
I will say the one time that I missed that one last match, but the one that I did see when he won on that side, he was hitting a lot of the right walls. So I would like to see him hit some more right wall goals in this round.
You're talking about Spec? Ooh, nice.
No,
Matt with
Matt,
the left wall
right
over.
there. See that right wall shot he makes when he hits those. That's what got him that win the last time he played on that side.
Did you see how tricky that shot was?
That was a good
Spec gets it
tricky
way
shot.
up close to the line and fakes him out, and then Matt tries the same thing, but it gets deflected.
It was a good shot though. If his pet mallet wasn't there, it was
So
going in.
what's so crazy is that like right now Matt is only 4 points away from taking the set, but Spec is 1 point away from reversing all those points, right? And if Spec wins this game, Matt's gonna be 7 points away. And there it is with the right wall under. It's
there it
worked.
is.
It's worked so many
Close
times on Matt.
Match.
He goes for
All
it,
right, but
fakes him
now,
out, stops it, and then pops the right wall from. And you'll notice he didn't use the top of his mallet to hit it. He hit it from like the 5 o'clock mark
And that,
on the mallet.
you know, that's what that's what I was hoping to see is a couple more fakes, and it was nice seeing Spec come out here and throw a lot in front of the puck before he hits it, you know, with his mallet, and just kind of throwing off a little bit here and there. So that match was actually a pleasure to watch there. But that being said, you know, going into the next match, Matt's getting the side he wants, I believe. And, you know, Spec's going to be hard-pressed to take that W on the next round.
Right. Man, I'm excited about this. It's now 2 games to 3 games. Still set game for Matt. If Spec wins the next 2 games, this entire challenge match is over. Which would be pretty incredible to be, you know, 3-1, and then, you know, not be able to close it out. Because this is the thing, a closeout is so important. There's so many players that have trouble with a closeout, where if they're, you know, they get so close that they start to just loosen up a tiny bit. The thing is that when you're pushing somebody against the wall, then they start playing at a faster pace. Their adrenaline starts to pump. They start to play at a faster pace. And so if you are about to beat them and you just get a tiny bit more nonchalant, right? Your intensity goes down by even 1%, but theirs goes up by 5%, you're done for. And I think that's what's happening right now.
Yeah. Polarized sunglasses.
I'm seeing the chat right now. They're asking if it's legal to play with sunglasses. It's totally legal to play with sunglasses. I wouldn't suggest it. I mean, it's actually funny. We actually have a polarized lens on the camera. That's why you don't see the reflection of the background banner on the table, because it was like really distracted. Right now, you'd see the ref like reflecting off of the table. But as far as the sunglasses go, no, the thing goes so fast, and it has to be white so you can see it on purpose against that blue background. If you were to wear sunglasses, I think the only thing it might possibly help with is if a player is watching the opponent's eyes, because sometimes the players look right where they're about to shoot, but that's basically about it. I wouldn't want to wear sunglasses because it being that much dimmer is going to cut into your response time. Then again, if it does help,
Right.
let me know. Somebody needs to try it. It's like World Poker Tour meets air hockey.
Here we go. Beck gets control. He's taking his shots. Matt's playing some good defense. Matt gets control.
Matt,
We'll see what
first
happens
point.
now.
That was
First
great.
shot off the. There it is. That's a good thing to see. I believe Matt may take this one.
I mean, if he does, he wins the set. So, like, every point right now matters so much
Right.
for Matt. Oop, he gets it back.
He's going a little too quick. He needs to slow it back down.
Yep, loses possession because of it. Ooh, does he get it back? No, he does not.
Good defense. All right,
Nice.
slow it down. This is good.
2 to
the
0
shot,
now.
just like that. You slow it down, you take the shot. Spec comes right back flying.
Matt sets it up. Oh, right wall over. Nice
Beautiful
shot.
set shot. Spec tries
Oh.
to go another quick one on the table. No chance to celebrate victories here.
We've got, Caleb, we got our dad in the chat now, commenting on our commenting. He says, the Bus Twins are admitting they deceived their opponents to win. And he says that explains the dilemma I had with raising them. Matt and Spec, watch out how they spike your Gatorade. Spec is making a comeback now. It's only a 1 point deficit, 2-3. Matt once again is 4 points away from winning the set. He gets possession back, gets rid of it. He's taking his time, sets it up, goes for it. Oh, look at that. That is one of the hardest shots to do as a right-handed player, is that left wall over. A lot of pros will not say it. They're like, no, it's not the hardest shot. I fully believe that the left wall over is the hardest shot to do as a right-handed player. And it's such a hard shot to block. It's such a deceitful looking shot.
Nice block. It was a good shot and a good block.
Matt keeps interfering with it, but Spec is getting back. Oh, Spec did, do you see that? Spec did 3 of the same shot in a row, or 2 of the same shot, and then this time he does it slightly different. Matt's out there, and it's just way out of place.
Yeah.
And Matt is in no place to screw around with these points right now. He should not be rushing.
Good recover.
Ooh, Spec steals possession. Is Spec gonna tie it up right here? He does. He ties it up. It's now 4-4. Matt 3 points away from the set. Spec 3 points away from tying up the set. Spec still has possession. Goes for the cut. Goes for, oh no! It fumbles in on the backside of Matt's mallet. You know, Caleb, Matt calls that a BM. This stands for the back of mallet. When it hits the back of his mallet and pops in.
BM.
Every time that happens, he goes, you know, I think there's a cream.
Ooh, good fake.
Matt says, I think there's a cream for that. Every time it happens. Spec sets it up, goes for the cross. It is now game point to 4. Matt needs 3 more points. Matt's taking his time, loses possession. Does Spec close this game out? It looks like he's about to right here. Goes for the cut. Goes for the cross.
He's definitely got some serious momentum. He's bouncing it back and forth to both sides. He's doing his setup really well right now. He's focused.
And there it is. Goes for the right wall. It fumbles in.
He wasn't even looking at Matt's side. He's just down on his side at his setup. Didn't even need a moment to look at any of that.
And you can see that shot.
He was very hyper-focused.
What sucks about that shot is that Matt actually hit it in. It actually was a missed shot. You were right. He wasn't looking up. And he actually missed that shot. And the way that Matt blocked it, popped it into the goal. So now this brings us to 3 games to 3 games. It now goes to game 7. And that means that this is a set game for Matt and a match game for Spec. If Spec wins this game now, then this whole entire match is over.
And this is going to be a really difficult comeback now for Matt, because not only is the momentum already going into Spec's favor now going forward, but also he's going to go back onto the other side where he's not favored. So, you know, he's going to be coming, have to overcome that side difference. He's going to have to overcome the momentum difference. You know, Spec was hyper-focused at the end there. We don't know if he'll come back in hyper-focused, but if he does, you know, Matt's going to have a really tough time breaking that defense.
Agreed. Man, I mean, it's so trippy, these games. So we had it be, you know, Spec got 3-7. You know, Matt got 7-3. Then Matt got 7-4. Then Spec came back with a 7-1. Then Matt came back with a 7-2. Then Spec came back with a 7-4. Another 7-4. So the last 2 games in a row now have been 7-4 Spec, which means could be it. If Spec 7-4s Matt again, this challenge match is over. We call it a good night, and that's the end of it. If Matt is able to rally, look at that face, that unfainted face. If Matt is able to rally right now,
I'm not going to let it happen. That's what that face is saying. He's saying, no, you know what? I'm going to put in the extra momentum. He's going to come back and take this one.
He's saying, can you smell what the Matt is cooking after that BM on his own goal? Man, this is so close. It's 3 games to 3 games, but Spec has 1 set, and that's the difference of a set that a set can make. If Matt had 1 set right on the table, this could be his entire match right here. So Matt needs to win this game and then 4 more. Spec just only has to win this game. So there's so much pressure on Spec right now. I know it sounds like there's a lot of pressure on Matt, but when you're in Spec's head, all he wants to do is close this game out. He does not want to have to go another set. He doesn't want to give Matt the opportunity. He sees that Matt has the secret sauce to win this one, and so he now has to put basically everything into his game. Instead of conserving energy, I think you're going to see both players playing at very high energy this round.
You know, that's an interesting question there, Steven. How often do you clean the tables during the matches?
As often as it needs to be. So you never clean the rails ever, or you'll make 1,000 Texans scream. The rails require a little bit of dirt on them to have the puck react correctly. But the blue surface gets cleaned. It really depends. So like when someone puts their arm on the table like Spec is doing, that actually leads a little bit of residue, and it does make the mallets move slower. So if I'm playing against, let's just say, Spec, every time I go to the side, if there's any residue at all, I will spray the table down. You're allowed to clean it every single game if you want to. There's some players that sweat on the table, so it has to be cleaned every time. But there's other times if no one's sweating or touching the table, you can go days and days without cleaning it. We use alcohol while the table's running. Oh shoot! Spec scores a goal and then realizes he forgot to change his camera. He's filming this from the side, and so he scores a goal and immediately calls a timeout, which is legal because the puck is out of play. But he did just waste his one timeout for this game, and this is the last game, so that's hilarious. That was so funny.
Matt is definitely thinking about something.
Matt has 10 seconds before he places the puck on the table, so he could call a timeout also if he wants to. He's got 10 seconds. Okay, so he made it in time, and now he's got 7 more seconds to get it across the line. You know, it's funny because I was talking about how much energy this game was going to have. Oh, look at how slow that was. So that's called an off speed. He hits it intentionally slow. Watch this shot in the replay.
Slow
yeah,
shot.
he just and it works for him. It's now 2-1. Matt is in the lead now. And Matt didn't need to call a timeout immediately following. Spec goes for that off goal cut. Goes for that right wall. Ooh, Matt got it back. That was very clean. It was still on the line. That was legal. Matt loses possession. Oh, that one sucks. That was actually in. They call it unlucky in the air hockey world, but it went into the goal and then bounced out. It was a good shot. It was aimed correctly. It just didn't stick. And if it doesn't stay in the goal, it doesn't count as a goal. Beautiful cross. It's now 2-2. These players are going toe-to-toe, 2-2. Nice! Oh, that was good. Check out how Matt just chases it into a left wall under. That was fantastic. Matt goes for another left wall. It's deflected. Spec could tie it up right here. Oh no! Spec was tapping his goal before it even went in because he saw it flub. It's now tied up 3-3. Each player needs 4 points. Matt hitting it way too soon, and Spec with the forehand left wall under. Matt in a bad spot right now. Not only does he does get possession back. He's 1 point under though. He sets it up. He's taking his time. And Spec gets him with the right wall under. It is only 2 points away from ending this match. Matt needs 4 points. Loses possession again, shooting an off goal. Spec sets it up. Continues with the possession. Misses. Sets it up. Oh, Matt charges, but does not get it back. But it was a successful charge in the fact that it blocked the shot. Matt gets possession. Is he going to tie this game up? Oh. Matt sets it up. Goes for a fake out. Loses possession.
Okay,
Beautiful. Spec comes in with a cut. It is now 3-6.
3-6.
Spec is only 1 point away from closing out this entire. It is match point 3 right now. All Spec needs is 1 point. This whole match is over.
You can see he's definitely going more aggressive, harder on his shots. He just wants to close it out bad.
Matt let go of possession a few too many times this match, and there it is with the right wall under. This match is over. Very fast match, an hour and a half for a 2 out of 3 at this level, 2 versus 4. I mean, to be honest, this match should have gone a lot further, but Spec beats him 2 sets to 0.
I mean, really close games. Matt had some good wins under his belt in there, and he almost was able to lock it down and win the second set. So, great comeback by Spec to just come back from the 3-1 deficit, I want to say it was.
What's crazy is that it was another 7-4 game. So Spec had 3 7-4 games in a row.
It's when he started to hyper focus. You could see that shift, and he just stepped up that game. He got into his groove.
Exactly. Some players need to warm up. I know for sure I do. My first games are almost always a loss, no matter who I'm playing. It doesn't matter. And then after I get a game or 2 in is when I really start to warm up and I move really quick. I do have a ramp up, and then I have
absolutely.
I've got
I've noticed that too when I first do. Is if I can, even if I just get the first or second game, get the dub, I'm okay with that, because when you start to warm up and you start to focus in, you improve your defense, it tightens up. You improve your shots, they tighten up, and you start to read your opponent too, because now you're starting to focus in. You're like, oh. You could kind of start to read where their defense is and where their defense isn't, and then you start locking in your shots.
So the players are going to go over to the couch right now. So this is the perfect time to throw all your questions on there. We're going to be ending this live stream soon, and so this is a perfect time to throw your chats in the chat. Throw your chats in the chat. Throw your comments in the comment section. Don't forget to like, subscribe. It helps us a ton. The players are going to be going over to the couch right now, so get your comments fired up and throw them in there, and they will respond live. It was it's a crazy comeback. Spec came back. It was 3 games to 1, and then Spec got the next 3 games in a row without letting Matt win one more game, which is just really impressive. So I'll meet you over there right now. Man, all of our ghetto wiring one day. Matt.
Oh, look, did you see who it was?
Who was it?
It was Peter C.
Matt, how did you feel about that match? You were up 3 games to 1.
I feel like I screwed the pooch there on the very end. I just needed that one win. I think I was rushing at the end to get it over with, and that's like one of the big cardinal sins of air hockey. Don't rush to get it over with, or you'll lose.
That closeout's really hard. And you relax a tiny bit. You're up 3 games to 1, so you relax just a tiny bit. You go down in intensity a few percentage points. He goes up in intensity a few percentage points because he's up against the wall, and it throws the game that much.
Mm-hmm.
What do you feel like? I mean, what was your secret? You're talking about opening up the secret weapon. What was that?
Instead of doing what I was doing, I was going to start opening the left walls and start hitting him with the left walls.
See, I told you. I knew it. I called it. I said it to him. I'm like, I didn't notice him hitting too many of those walls, and I'm like, but now this next game he's been hitting those walls just like I said.
I could pretty much do left wall over on command, and it's just a decision: do I do left wall under or over? And he's blocking all the unders, so I have to make him think that I'm going to do an under when I do an over, and only like 2 went in.
Mm-hmm.
So
I mean,
I switched to a combination of, okay, from this spot I'm going to try right wall overs and left wall unders and see if that worked. And it worked for a little bit, but it just wasn't something that I could sustain. Because that cross had fallen off.
Right.
The cross.
I mean, it was
wasn't
working, but he was having a much more disciplined defense. Actually, Steven in the chat, actually it wasn't Steven in the chat. In the chat they asked, is this defense that we're seeing normal? Is this a typical defense that these guys are using? And I'm like, well, they're actually using two different types of defense. But then as I started to watch, your defense tightened up a ton. You weren't, pulling straight back. You were just barely blocking, barely moving your mallet. Same with Spec. You'd be doing the straights, and he would barely move.
I had to force myself and concentrate. It's not something that's like, for some people, it would be just automatic. I had to focus on that, which unfortunately took away from my attention to other things, because I was focusing on this one thing, which you saw some solid right wall unders just fly under. But I'm like, these straights, I'm going to focus on the cut and try to get to the cross, and then try to get to the right wall unders, which I blocked a few of them, but I couldn't get to all of them.
Right.
I think I did a good job on the cut, sending some back into Spec's goal.
You were saying that it's not, innate. You're not just, it's just not normal to, natural to just be blocking those shots like that. But you're right. It's natural to pull all the way back when you're trying to defend your goal or your face. If someone's about to punch you, for example, your instinct is to back up and block it. Your instinct with your goal is to back up and block it. Your instinct is not to stay firm and to only move maybe 1 inch to the left or 1 inch to the right.
Are you saying it's not to do this and
yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Block with your face.
So, that's one of the warm-ups that we do. One of the drills that we do is
That's Nathan in the chair right now.
Yeah, is we have a drill where we, instead of pulling all the way back, you just have to stay planted and maybe even move forward after every shot. The rule is you don't move your mallet forward until it touches. You don't move your mallet forward until the puck touches your mallet, and then you jump forward instead of jumping back. And so I understand what you're saying when you're saying that you have to have that very strict defense, and in your mind tell yourself not to move. That's when I'm playing Spec, same exact thing. In my mind, if you were to hear what my internal monologue is saying, it's don't move, don't flinch, do not be afraid of this, just stay right where you're at. Take away his straights. I will totally be fine if he gets a right wall under right now. I do not want him to get another cutter or cross through. We got a lot of people in the chat right now asking some questions. Before I dive into those, Spec, what was your thoughts on that set?
So if you look at the score, I wanted to have one consistent win across the board.
You mean 7-4, 7-4, 7-4?
Yeah.
You're such a dork. That's what you did yesterday at the arcade, right? It was 7-2, 7-2 against me. Anyway.
When I won, yeah.
No, you did not. All right, we got people saying great game.
7-7-7.
Yeah. We got Steven saying that Spec is a good guy. We got he's also saying that there's preferred sides. We got Fluffy Dragon saying, Matt, did you come in with a different game plan this time? You play Spec a lot, and I was curious if you've been building a Spec strategy over time. Did you do anything different this game?
I did. I wanted to come at Spec with stuff he hadn't seen before. At first, come at him with things he'd seen before, here's same old Matt, and probably lose the first set, and then come at him with stuff he wasn't used to me bringing.
So you're saying you kind of gave him the first set?
Not really. I'm not Spec. I don't make things interesting. I always try to win. I don't want to make things interesting. I'm not so good that I can just make things interesting or create scores that are 7-4, 7-4 that are good, visually appealing to my eye, that I like. I am not part of the haute société of air hockey.
So
that
also
I can
on the first set, I wanted to have 3 red pillars. So I did 7-6, and then 7-6 again, and then 7-5, and then 7-6.
But I just call BS on Spec when he says stuff like that, and just keep it to myself.
Okay. Air hockey is like golf. You rush or hurry, you make more mistakes. I think that's very true. we got someone saying, "Am I hearing
You know,
bias in our
it's
announcers?"
like the old saying, you know, they say, "Hurry up and wait." You know, that's what you got to do with air hockey. You got to hurry up and wait.
Gotta hurry up and wait. I will say, Matt, it's still in the second set. Every time that you took your time, you got the goal, and every time that you let go of it within 1 second, you did not. Every time he would steal it and get a goal on you instead.
You would think that would register inside my brain and make an impact on me. But
Well-
I think I'm inside of some type of different time zone.
It's just
in
adrenaline when
there.
you're playing. The adrenaline's going, and so it feels like you're taking longer. I don't know how many times I've played, and I'm like, I'm taking my time. I'm making sure I'm going nice and smooth, and then I walk away from the table, and people are like, "You need to slow down," and I'm like, I'm going pretty slow. Like I'm being very cautious about my shots. I'm like, no, and I rewatched my game, and I'm moving so fast. So it's like you got to remember to like double time on the slow, like cut your speed in half. And just take your time. Maybe count the seconds out loud until you get to
The
like
best
4.
time that you did was right after Kai did that crazy timeout. He made the goal. He timed out, and then you waited your good 10 seconds to put the puck back on, and then you also took another 6 seconds to shoot.
That was my power move
That's
to
what we
match
like to
his power
see.
move. Like to, oh, okay, he's gonna
I
do a
know,
little
I
power
know.
move. I'm just gonna leave it into the goal for almost 10 seconds,
Did you-
and then play with it on the table for almost the full seconds, and then shoot a goal.
Spec, was that because you
know,
forgot to
and
like cut
sometimes you gotta
the
do
film
that.
between
That a little
games?
more often.
I forgot to start the camera.
I knew it. I knew it wasn't to actually get in his head. It was so funny though. I thought you were like trying to pull a Nathan like at the showdown where I called that timeout. I thought you were trying to do that. You're like, score timeout. Ah! Like, yeah. Then you get your butt kicked afterwards. We got people asking, are Caleb and Nathan identical twins? Who is sitting in the chair now? We are not identical twins.
That right here is obviously Josh.
Yeah, I'm Josh, the third twin. No, I'm Nathan. Caleb is the one that you're hearing remote, and I'm 2 years older. We look identical. We sound identical, but we do not look perfectly identical. Who's the real Nathan? This is
Well, the
ridiculous.
real Nathan, please stand up.
Yeah, I'm standing-ish.
I am standing up.
I'm trying to look through any other questions in the chat. There's a lot of chats coming in here. If anybody else has a question or any comments for these guys, throw it in right now. We'll do our best to read it out. Let's see, a lot of stuff about us being twins. Spec triggered by fight or flight response with that timeout. That's what it says in here. Oh, man. Okay. Secret third Russ brother. now they're claiming Russ as our secret third brother. We always joke that we had a secret brother named Timmy that died in 8,000 different ways in the family. It's always a big joke. We say like, what happened to her? If the parents say, hey, don't forget to eat your dinner, you're gonna end up like Timmy. We're like, what happened to Timmy? And they would always make up some new death for him. Oh well, he didn't eat his dinner, and well he got hit by the lawnmower, or well he didn't eat his dinner, and he's still in the attic to this day. We feed him fish once in a while. So our third brother is Timmy. All right. Any comments? There was that smack talk before that last game. How do you guys feel about that? Matt, what are you gonna do next? Different next time. Spec, are you going to change, or is this just a winning strategy? You're gonna keep the strategy against your game against Matt in the upcoming state tournament?
Well, if you see that 7-1 and 7-2 game, yeah.
He always answers his questions with like a random like, well, if you've seen how I've won, ... Matt, what about you?
I'm gonna just slow it down, like you said, because it really messes with Spec when you get more possession time. He really gets antsy and doesn't like not having the puck in his possession. He's a control freak, so every time he doesn't have the puck and doesn't have possession of it, it really messes with him.
What
until he
really
gets it
messes
back.
with him? Hey, somebody needs to grab me the skibbity toilet in the house, wherever that's at. We had we do a weekly. Every week we go to the arcade and we play, and first place gets
it's
the
for
trophy.
second place?
Yeah, and second place gets the skibbity toilet.
Because it's the
And
first loser.
So second place yesterday, Spec got the skibbity toilet, and he he was not a fan. So this is the secret weapon, Matt. Skibbity toilet.
Skibbity toilet.
Yard sale, $2. All right. Any last comments that we have in here? We got Fluffy
You know,
Dragon Slayer.
I'm gonna throw a comment real quick.
Go for it.
Yeah, I liked seeing when Matt came out of the second set. You know, they get into the second set and he comes out strong, and then he starts pulling off those right walls when he was on the opposite side of the table, and he took that win. So then he had 2, and then he got the 3rd win. And then, you know, once he went back to the other side, I didn't notice as many of those shots on that 4th match that Kai took back. And then going forward, Kai started taking them all back. And he started reading your wall shot, I feel like, because I noticed that you were starting to use those wall shots more and more. At the end, I feel like you stopped taking as many straight shots, stopped taking as many cuts. And I think that's where I think you could have gotten the W on him at the end, was going back to some of the cuts and straight shots. You started overusing the wall shots.
Yeah. We got Vi in the chat saying that the next one to take Spec's rank is going to be from me. I agree, Vi. I heavily agree with that. I also just want to give a giant thank you to everybody who's watching right now. Like, huge thanks. I'm going to go over our sponsors one last time because those guys really go over and above. They
My mom was
believe in
asking
us.
a question about skill versus luck.
Okay, answer it.
So, yeah, there's a lot of skill involved, but I think Spec was throwing a lot of garbage out there, even though he is a skillful player. Sometimes he throws something out there that just kind of goes in. And it would be my skill to block the shot from his garbage, but unlucky for me not to block it. So is it more unskillful for me not to block a garbage shot, or is it just lucky for Spec to get a garbage goal?
It's more lucky to get a garbage goal. We've got a request in the chat to make you, Matt, kiss the skibbity toilet. It's from a yard sale. It has not been cleaned yet. It's straight from the yard sale. Kiss it.
Where does it say that?
It says it like near the bottom. It's from Fluffy Dragon Slayer. Make Spec. Oh, it says make Spec kiss the skibbity.
Oh, here, kiss it.
I'm sorry.
Kiss.
So,
Spec's lips touched this thing. Can we have a close up on that camera?
Oh, we can't. We can't
Can
do it.
you-
You'd
can
have to
you
hold it
give it a
close. Yeah,
close-up?
throw it to our amazing
Just the
ref.
face.
Yeah, there we go. It's horrifying. That's a second place award. You get if you beat everybody else, but number 1, you get the skibbity toilet.
Enjoy your
the weekly.
nightmares.
Okay, so just a reminder for everybody: tonight is the very last night to get a better seed in the Idaho State Championship that's coming up. And so this now solidifies the seed as of midnight tonight, and so nobody else can enter the tournament. You do have until midnight to enter the tournament if you wanted to be entering. It's going to be done every Monday in a league format. We might do a random Tuesday here and there to accommodate schedules, but we'll have them posted well in advance, and so you can see whose game is coming up at what